Today, more than any other hearing, we revisit the kind of waste and the kind of failure to secure taxpayers' hard-earned money that I can remember in history.
You cannot take the money of American workers and waste it.
The IRS effectively was guilty of tax evasion.
What would happen if you were found guilty of tax evasion? With me, Florida Congressman Mica, House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, that heard the shocking testimony this week regarding the out-of-control spending by the IRS. Good evening, Congressman.
Good to be with you.
It's good to have you here. What surprised you the most when you heard the testimony of these IRS employees?
Well, again, just the wanton waste of taxpayer dollars. When we found out they spent over $60,000 on trinkets as souvenirs for IRS employees, including the now famous plastic water squirting ducks that, again, that have become a symbol of waste, just like the $20,000 that GSA spent on drumsticks in their outrageous conference. It just, you know, when you have taxpayers working so hard, it does affect you to see this kind of waste going on.
Congressman, did you, in all these hearings, you referred to GSA from last year, and we remember their conference in the hot tub with the wine in Hawaii. But
right.
is it normal for the government employees to buy themselves gifts? Because I worked for the government for 30 years. I never bought myself a gift. Most people, when they retire after 25 years, they're lucky if they get a lunch. Well,
again, when we started this, and, you know, you just cited the GSA guy who thumbed his nose at us, the hot tub, that outrageous expense. A lot of people thought that was limited to GSA, but now it appears, you know, this was a $4 million conference that they held at Anaheim, $135,000 for speakers, the gifts that we mentioned. They spent probably $250,000 flying out there and paying planners to, without bids and not really negotiating even the price of the room. So it's just one outrageous expenditure after another. Now, the good news is that it appears, and we're checking this, that many of the agencies who were involved when we exposed what was going on with GSA closed it down, because they went from $40 million in expenditure down to $4 million the next year. But
well, that's important.
When questioning them, I think it was because of our investigation.
And Congressman, you know, you said something that tweaked my interest, and that is no bid contracts, $135,000 just for the conference or people who arranged it. Will there be more investigation into how these people were awarded these contracts and whether ethical rules were violated, and should they be fired?
Well, a couple are on suspension with pay. I asked that question. Some of these folks who were, folks who participated at high levels, and several who were in charge of organization also got bonuses. One got a promotion afterwards. So I want to recoup some of the taxpayer money in this. It's very difficult to fire a federal employee. Now, we're trying to change the law on some of the senior executive service, the highest level, because they should be fired immediately. Then you have people that take the Fifth Amendment. When they come before Congress, I think that they should be relieved of both pay and their position.
Congressman Mica, thanks so much for being with us this evening.
Good to be with you, and we'll stay on it, I guarantee you.
Oh, good, good. And coming up, another week, another scandal, a massive surveillance program revealed. What is our government finding out about you? And later, so many scandals, so little time. Can Obama even govern at this point? That debate coming up.